What's going on, guys? We're finally here. Keep Punting podcast. I don't know how we got here. I don't know how we actually ended up doing this. But
we're just here.
We're just here.
Got bored on a Thursday night. I reckon.
Bored on a Thursday night. You're bored on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. So, look, we had to stop abusing the Photoshop pics of us, and we decided to actually start speaking to you guys. Probably all six of you or something like that. But three. Yeah, we're out.
2.5.
We'll go straight into intros. So first off, we got the man who knows absolutely nothing and he owns it. It's Feehan. You got anything to say or?
Well, yeah. So look, I think at the end of the day, I'll surprise a few people. I think that's what the main thing is here. But yeah, look, we just want to enjoy it. You know, put some tips out there, some multis especially. It's what I'm into. So yeah, just enjoy the ride. That's about it, really.
Yeah, Jesus, that's a few seconds we'll never be able to get back.
Right.
But all right, now let's move on to the other person. Disclaimer: if you got your the jacket thing, chuck them on. We've got the one who thinks he knows everything but knows nothing, and that's Luke.
Welcome to the potties, guys.
Have you got ANZ before? No.
I'm actually with Comeback now.
That's with Combat.
So welcome, guys. I'm the self-proclaimed best punter in WA, which you'll soon see that is actually the truth. And yeah, enjoy. Hopefully a couple of good winners coming your way.
Yeah, right.
No.
Good luck getting a home load. Anyway, so today's episode is going to be completely different to the episode we're generally going to be doing. Usually, we're going to be looking at the week ahead, going through best bets, focusing on the week before, all that type of stuff, all that jazz. Probably have a few segments, something like, I don't know, Feax's stinkers, not only because his bets suck, because like he actually stinks, like
A little bit.
it's really bad.
Physically stinks.
But yeah, look, that's about it. All that jazz. But for this week, we're having what we call a futures episode, right? So for the mugs out there, we want to tell you what the futures are. Facts, what are futures?
So future multis, future bets, same thing kind of in my opinion. But the way we want to look at it is that we look into the betting markets down the track. So for example, the Spring Carnival is obviously here. Let's say 3 months down the track. What are you laughing at? Three months down the track or 2 months down the track is the Melbourne Cup, obviously. So obviously those prices are much higher. Give it a crack. Usually they're much. They're shortened on the day, and that's how you get your future, bet or multi. So that's the way we want to do it, really.
Now in English.
So
essentially, we've got races across the spring. You might jag a multi of places or something. You might back one at huge odds that shortens, feels like a win, probably ends up losing. Or you might just smack one that we call I don't want to say it. It's an M word. Look, in the world of punting, there's an M word. And it's very frowned upon. We probably use it way too much between us three. Do I say? I don't want to say it.
You're allowed to say it
because I'm explaining it.
Explain it.
I'm good.
Yeah, right.
So it's called moral. Jesus, that actually hurts here. Right. Anyway, so moral is it's a word. So certainty is here. Moral is up here. Right. So it's you by saying a horse is a moral, you're giving it some bad juju. And you're that confident, you got some balls, you're that confident that it's going to win, that you think it's still going to win with this bad juju. Look, it's a word, like I said, very, very frowned upon, but you probably hear us say it about 16 times tonight. So without further ado, let's get into it.
It's good.
Good, yeah.
First race that we're going to look at is a sprint race called the Everest, right? 1,200 metres, Randwick, the best sprinters. It's technically not a Group 1.
It is a Group 1 now.
What do you mean? No, it's the pop-up.
They've made that and the Golden Eagle both Group 1s now. They classify as Group 1.
Of course he knows that.
I haven't seen
Watch
that.
the news or something. Watch the news. What are you watching?
I want to look it up. I don't know.
Jeez, go home and speak to your parents about something, bro.
That's what I was thinking.
I don't know.
Anyway, so we'll get into the Everest. I'll go first. You kicks a moral. I think there's not much argument with it. I think the horse looks like, by its trials and stuff, come back huge. It was already a good horse. The horse is a freak. I think 1200 metres round it suits it to a T. I think its competitors, I wish I win. Look, I don't know what Peter Moody's doing with the prep. It scares me to bits. I've got a stat where it's the last 13 runnings of these 1200 metre group Everest races at Randwick. 12 runners that have won have been third or fourth up into the prep, right? Wish I Win's going second up into the prep, six weeks break in between. I just think it's got no chance. If I had to give something else a little nibble, I would look at a horse like Lost and Running. Lost and Running, 26-1, been trying the absolute house down. Look, it's gonna look. Giga Kick looks that good, but if I had to back something at odds to better, I would back that. And if you want to have 50 cents on something, it probably won't go to the race. It's a beat pre-noms market. There's a horse that came from South Africa. It's with Griffiths and de Kock. It's 100-1. It's named Najim Sahib.
It's
100-1. It wasn't in the Moir and Manikato markets that we'll touch on in a second.
I don't think that's true because I've never heard of it.
You've never heard of Najim Sahib?
What? You never heard of it? You didn't see
Are
it?
you serious?
No, I've never heard of it.
Mate.
You've never heard of Najim Sahib? That just shows you foul.
No. Wait, hold on. Ran the valley last week.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. My fault.
Sorry for that. And I reckon the funniest thing about the Everest market,
I still know it's South African, that's all.
I was looking through it.
Sure, is that actually in the market?
No, that's 100-1. Do you know what cracked me up? Clairvoyance was in the market 100-1.
No,
Come on.
That's retired, isn't it?
I thought it was dead.
Yeah, I think it is something like that.
Luke, what do you reckon?
So seconds you, Giga Kicks and Moral.
Yeah, it's a moral.
Yeah.
It's a moral.
I'm the same. I wish I win. Prep, in my opinion, is no good. 1400, 6 weeks fresh. Back to 1200, not a good setup. Your point was good. A lot of the winners have been minimum third up in the in the Everest. So Giga Kicks obviously running this weekend, which we'll touch on later. Second up into the shorts, and then third up in that perfect platform, in my opinion. 350 is a good price. I reckon it'll be.
Might be odds on.
No, it won't be odds. Mate, it won't be odds on. I wish I win in there. One horse, if I had to back something that's also a good recipe, is 3-year-olds. So you've got Shinzu, which is running in the first up in the Golden Rose. Again, similar prep. So I wish I win, which I kind of just bagged, to be fair. 14 back to 12, 3 or 4 weeks later, but they have a good record in the race
it's work.
as well.
Yes, work.
Yeah, but it wasn't second up. Yes.
Oh yeah, Shinzu's second up.
It's third or fourth up. So, but that's another one. But it might, for me, that's probably one of the locks of the spring.
Oh, cool.
I think Giga Kick's the best horse in Australia. Best sprint in the world. I reckon be better than Age should be called. But yeah, that's my stand on that. So I wish I win. Not for me.
Well, you reckon better than Lipstick Flickers?
No, you can't. It's not better than that.
Better than
Group
Group
one,
one,
got full Group 1.
No, that's it.
That's right.
Better than Ridden Sun.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I'll definitely better than that. Fuck me. I'll definitely touch on that. So yeah, definitely do think it's a moral. Probably call it a lock for the futures bets at 350.
It's gonna lose now.
It's
It's
more
more
three
than
times.
We've
Three
seen
times.
three.
One thing I want to touch as well, if it's a heavy track,
Yeah.
then it could. That's the
Yeah,
only.
that's good
See. Okay, I wish I would. I know he didn't really like it as much, but I just feel like Peter Moody has worked the horse out. He knows what to do with it.
It needs a break.
We know that, right? He did it in the TJ Smith, and it actually beat Giga Kick, right? I know that was on a heavy.
Yeah.
That was on a heavy. If it came to the day and it was a heavy 9, I would definitely stress a bit. I reckon I wish I would win the race. I do personally do think that. But if you get anything less than that, a soft, 6-5, I think it's almost the M word. So
Another important thing with that is that TJ Smith, I wish I was third up. Giga Kick was second up. And he just got the better of it, even though it was a wet track.
Yeah.
Now you're flipping the tables, I reckon it makes a difference.
yeah,
Especially if it's a good track.
Summary:
Giga Kick.
Giga Kick.
yeah,
That's it.
Yeah.
Kick,
I-
Giga Kick.
I agree.
Kick.
Definitely agree.
Now, in a quicker way, otherwise we'll be here for 16 years. Moir and Manikato. All right, we're going to talk about both at the same time. Right? Again, I'll go first.
Yeah.
Moir, I think Asphora. I think it looks so good for it. I know 1100 is probably a sweet spot. It's $1,000, 1,000 meters around the valley.
That's nothing.
1,000 meters around the valley.
Lipsy would come back for that.
1,000 meters around the valley, 5-1. I reckon it's a good price.
Yeah.
And then if Najim Sahal was in the market, I'd actually back it as well. But I will say for the Manikato, I think Bella Nipotina. I think it can do it again. Bellenden, it's 1,200 metres obviously, so Bellenden between a Moonee Valley is like Faux at Krispy Kremes,
Yeah.
right? Like ears pricked,
Yeah.
attacks the line, he attacks the counter, like full
Milkshake,
focus,
milkshake,
milkshake, double
yeah,
milkshake. Bellenden between is unbelievable.
Sunday afternoon. Yeah.
But and that's 6-1, right? So I really like them two for those two races. But for both of those races, there's a horse at 50-1 that has again been trialing the house down. It had a bit of a weird prep last prep, but it still only lost less than 2 lengths in an Oakley Plate, which is a Group 1, and that is Star Patrol. We'll go back, watch its trials. You'll be in the same boat.
Yeah, look,
Does that go
you know, I do.
That's the only thing I don't know.
No, they don't-
It loves the
they don't-
Flemington Straight.
They don't know the
They don't know the path.
But no,
But wherever
that's-
it goes, it wins. It looks
That's
sharp.
that's gone good. That's gone very good. Actually, I had that down to be honest.
Fax, what do you reckon?
But yeah, look, I'm with you as well. Asafora, they want to keep it, below 1,200 meters, so they're targeting all the 1,000 to 1,100 meter races. So definitely, $5 is a good price. Probably be about $3.50 on the day, $3 even less. So definitely one to go for there. And the Manikato, I'm in with Interpretes. Mark, that's how you say it, isn't it?
Yeah. Not
Interpretes.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Wait, say it one more time.
Inter-
Maybe third time lucky.
Imperatries.
There we go. There we go.
Alright, so yeah, I'm with Imperatries. Look, $4 this mez, I reckon definitely a good one. Look, at the end of the day, won the William Reid last year. Did it beat the Bellinepperton?
It did.
It did. So there you go. In that sense, I think Mark Walker's there just for the value. To be honest with you, he's got a couple of races there. He'll probably go in the Moir as well, but I don't reckon he'll win it.
I don't think it is going to Moir.
It might go down there. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But the Manikato, $4. One of it has to be one of its grand finals for sure. So I reckon a good futures bet for sure.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
I'm the same. I'm with Asfara. I think everyone's with Asfara, especially after they declared it immoral last week.
Yeah.
And it actually got up. So
Took the piece.
in terms of Manikato, there's nothing that stands out for me. Good point. Imperators did beat Bellinip, same track and distance in the autumn.
Yeah.
That was on a better surface. If it got wetter,
Yeah.
then Bellinip would turn the
That's
tables.
something I should have highlighted, yeah.
But-
Bellinip needs a bit of cutting the ground.
Bellinip, Moonee Valley 1,200, anything better than a soft 7, unbeatable. Just
Unbeatable.
about. So,
100%.
that's probably for me. That's probably a not on the day bet. It's too hard to jump in now.
Alright,
Weather dependent.
let's stick at the Valley. This is a small race, just in a backyard. We'll call it the Cox Plate. Again, we've got another moral. So I think we'll be all on the same page here. I think, personally, if it draws well, J-Mac stays on. If it, mate, I don't understand. I don't understand how this thing can lose if it comes here. Romantic Warrior, $4.20, right? This thing made Dubai Honor look like a bitch, and then Dubai Honor made Animo look like the biggest bitch, and now this thing's coming here and versing everyone who Animo took the piss out of.
Animo's a crap,
mate. Yeah, right. I honestly, I have no. $4.20 I reckon is a steal, an absolute steal.
Very
If it
good
comes
price.
here, everything's all good. But and I will say, light infantry, I reckon it's the lay of the spring. This horse, all it needs is a straight.
It's like 10 to 1.
I don't. It's 1,600 meters to 2,000.
Lay it.
Will not win.
Don't lay
Put
it.
everything you got. It's going to be so short on the day you watch.
Punting
people-
advice, never lay
Punting.
10 to 1.
Punters and mugs. This thing. This thing sucks. It's second favourite now.
It's about $8 or $9.
I think
Nice.
it's $6.50 or
That's
something.
got Zach Purden on it.
Yeah, Zach Purnam's on it and stuff like
Fuck,
that.
that's
Mate,
gonna-
it has got.
So Guinea Kick loses and that thing pips up.
It has no chance. I reckon all its wins have been over a straight 16,000, 2,000. It's only once ran a place on a track around a bend. So I reckon Moonee Valley worst track for it. The one horse I'm that scared of is Globe at 13-1. I swear it's the next incentivise. We're gonna find out this weekend. But I did say this about Western Empire last year, and as of today, it's on the online sales.
I'm not
eBay.
No,
Still racing, but
no comment on that saga with those horses. That's an off-the-camera discussion.
Drugs. Yeah, go. Fouts, what do you reckon?
Yeah, look, I'm definitely with you with Romantic Warrior. I'm back in Hong Kong all the time, so I don't know how many times I've backed on my future market.
Fouts loves Hong Kong.
But
Back
you
this
can go to
Sunday
Hong
as
Kong
well.
soon. But yeah, $4.20. Honestly, I value this on the day. If things go to plan, barrier, potentially good or soft track, I reckon it'd be odds on, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I agree.
$1.80.
I agree.
It's just got to travel. It is in quarantine for 2 weeks at the moment, so you know that.
Well done, Fax.
Been looking at it.
You should be in quarantine.
I should be in quarantine. But yeah, look, it's very hard to go past, as Phil said. The Biona was probably our best 2,000 metre horse here. Beat Animo, and this thing's going to beat it by like what 2-3 lengths.
Yeah, easy.
In Hong Kong,
Easy.
so more than that actually. So, but I do have a sneaky one. Mal.
Yeah, nice.
Definitely a good one. What are you getting? I think 26 to 1.
Yeah, it's
26 to 1.
Look, I don't know if it's going, but
we don't know if it's going. Might be going to
Who
Caulfield
knows what that
Cup.
prep's going to be?
Might be going to Caulfield Cup. But I'm not saying
time.
it's going to win. But it's definitely a good each way at the price. It was 51 to 1. Ran really good last week in the Chelmsford.
Yep.
Chelmsford. Yep. In the Chelmsford.
Hit the line well.
Hit the line well, and I think Gabe Waterhouse has a big opinion of this prep, so definitely one to look at too. That's it.
Yeah, that's a good one actually. I'm the exact same. Another moral. Romantic Warrior. I've got it on good ground. I've got it as unbeatable unless something goes wrong in the run, or travel when it travels is an issue or something like that. Also, they just no, but I'm saying it doesn't come up. It comes here.
This is some news.
Also, pretty much confirmed. No other internationals in the race except Buckaroo, which is now with Kirimaha. And same with Light Infantry, both with Kirimaha.
Oh, so there's only one.
So that's the only one that's coming.
It's
pretty much 95% the only one coming.
Okay, so it's actually a moral.
So yeah,
The only-
a moral.
We'll touch
way.
on something.
Yeah.
Touch on something. Right, and you like this horse as well because I've been looking at it. Militarized, obviously Chris Waller. Right, if this comes back good this prep, I think massive chance.
I will say, Faux is very spot on there because I remember we spoke about this a few months
with
ago.
the weight, and I looked at it and I saw its couple of wins. I was thinking, Jesus Christ, if it comes back to what it was and it can step up to more ground, I reckon possibly, maybe.
The thing with militarized, this is the thing, right?
Maybe.
Militarized, right? The way it rated in its 2-year-old season, so the way it rated was the same as like Animo and Castelvecchio, actually better than them.
Yeah.
The years when they won, and then they went into a Cox Plate that same year and ran unbelievable. But militarized
both
was on a heavy
second.
track. Was on a heavy track both times,
Yeah.
right? Both times. So that's my only iffy thing. We got to see if it comes back. 2-year-olds to 3-year-olds scares me.
Anyway.
But I
know its main goal is the call for Guineas, which is the perfect lead.
I think that's
a
another
Cox Plate. That's what they will do. So
we'll get it.
We've got to see how it runs.
Let's go to the next, right?
Right, moving on.
So we're gonna
Romantic Warriors. Away from that.
Yeah, it's moral. Caulfield Cup, right? We're gonna go into the next, right? 2,400 meters, Caulfield. For myself, and it sort of hurts me to say this, without a fight, right? I think this horse is an absolute freak. The way it won, I was lucky enough to see it one day when I won at Eagle Farm this year. The way it won, it was unbelievable. And the thing, it's 11 to 1 in this race. It is such a good each way price. The thing that scares me is it rated through the roof. Its sections were ridiculous. The first win was on a day where you couldn't make any ground and this thing just steamed from the back. And also, Mark Zara came off this horse twice and said, man, this thing was so keen. How can a horse be keen the whole race over 1,800, 2,200 and just kick like that? It was, mate.
Didn't verse much, bro.
It didn't verse much, but at the end of the day, who was in that race? Numerian. What did Numerian do last year? Came third in the Caulfield Cup, right? I look at this and I look at the quality that's in the Caulfield Cup this year. I don't think it looks very good. So I think without a fight's a huge chance. And the reason why I say it hurts me to say it is because last year for the Melbourne Cup, without a fight came here, first up international, William Buick rode it. Mate, William Buick got this thing struggling like at the 1,000 metre mark.
Had about 20 rides over Cup Carnival for 0 places.
Mate, it sucked.
Yeah,
and the worst thing about it was I was waiting to the day to back this thing. And I know these boys were too. But it needs to be.
How many times have I backed it before?
Yeah, he's don't listen to anything he says.
Any of that fastbacks for the fucking Melbourne Cup? Just don't back.
No, don't worry about it. Right? Big. Firm track. We're waiting firm track. This thing needs a firm deck. Doesn't like a cut in the ground. Needs a firm deck. It was like a soft 5 in the morning. Good 4 to a soft 5 in the morning. Right? Firm 2 right in the morning. And then before the race, it was a heavy 8.
Yeah, pissed
it was a heavy 8. This thing had no chance, and we knew it. And we'd all put that much money on this thing. Mate, Melbourne Cup Day last year. Should I say the number? Should I say the number?
No, I don't.
Maybe it does.
Just in case.
Because
yeah,
your
just in case
dad
my
will be
watched
locked
it.
up.
Nah, don't worry.
We got it, but you know what? The three of us, we lost more than five. We went into 5 figures. He's going, no, we didn't. It was just my dad here. That's what he anyway, so we lost. Anyway, so it was honky. We had the worst day. We're trying to win it back. Cut to Friday. Me and Adam were working together last year, right? And this is Adam, by the way. He's not just Faust.
Yeah,
Adam.
yeah.
We were working together last year, and he got a phone call from his dad, and the phone rang, and his dad was, he was huffing and puffing. He was like, Adam, check your email now. And I was like, all right, like, he was scared. I was scared. I was like, what's going on? I was on the other side of the table as well. I heard it. Anyway, so he picks up we watched the email, and there's a recording from a trainer from a horse he has in Melbourne named At the Mint, right? We knew it was running the next day in a Geelong, was it a maiden? Yeah, it was a maiden in Geelong.
Yeah.
9 a.m. in the morning on a Saturday, right? And the trainer said, the 2 races prior, the horse was a crab. The horse was like travelling keen, really ridiculously keen, don't defend it. 5, 6 wide, like stupid.
But in all fairness, it always had something to give. It just had a bad ride.
This thing was the worst horse.
No, I don't. It's a crab now. But at the first couple of races, we always knew there was going to be a bit of potential because
he knew because he had a bit of ownership.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself, man. This thing was.
It was just very green. It was just very green.
Yeah, green, dark green. This thing sucked, right? It got to the race, right? And this thing was priced 121. The trainer said, "I don't know what's happened. This thing has turned a corner. We're letting it stride straight to the lead, and it's just kicking and training. Shush. It's beating some of the decent horses in his stable. It's 121 tomorrow. Get on." And we're like, "Nah, come on, surely not." We had just done our asses. We had no money left in our bank account. We're on minus. And we just agreed on the Melbourne Cup day that we're never punting again. Comes to this day, we look at each other. It took us about 5 minutes to convince each other, all right, we'll have something on it, right? $50, $100 here and there. This thing gets up at 121 at 9 a.m. on a Saturday. You would have heard an earthquake in Perth because we tipped the half of Perth as well. Oh, that was unbelievable.
The worst thing was that we couldn't even. Well, because we had that much more. Obviously, my Melbourne Cup was shocking, but we banned. wasn't 5 figures.
It was 5.
Ended up banning all my sports bet accounts, all my sports bets, all my gambling accounts. Had my sports bet there, but I had a limit. So the most I could go was only 50 each way. So I ended up picking up, I think like $6.5 grand or something. But
so he wants to talk about that number.
There was the deductions, and then I think Ren picked up 16, and then he got deducted to I think 12 or 11.
Ren will love that you talk about the amount that he picked up. Anyway, so let's move on. Just really quickly, the biggest danger for me is West Wind blows at 12 to 1. Nice. I think that's a really good international. It's got good form. It's a crap Caulfield Cup, and I think that's got a massive chance if it comes over. But I have a thing for Without a Fight after that Melbourne Cup, and I have to put in Duke de Sessa, 36 to 1. I've been following this horse the whole way through. They've got a huge opinion on it. They've nominated it for absolutely everything. 36 to 1, I think it's worth a shot. And the one at 100 to 1 that I think's going to go very close in a Metrop is Colourpool. That you want to have a little 5 each way. I think that's a huge little chance.
Not the Melbourne Cup, but in the
Caulfield Cup. Anyway.
Caulfield, sorry. Yeah,
and then, and also, Luke, what do you reckon?
So my main bet here is a horse. Again, I've just recently read that it's confirmed to come, as well as West Wind Blows. That's travelling with,
saw that.
I think Absurd or something
like
that, one of the Melbourne Cup chances. So the name is Valiant King. It's with one of the O'Briens. I think it's with Aiden, the younger one.
Yeah.
It's last started to run, we haven't touched the Melbourne Cup yet, but last started to run second over 2,400, length and a half to Vilebarn. Which is another one we'll touch on soon, which is currently the favourite for the Melbourne Cup. This thing's around 20 to 1. It looks like it's probably a mile and a half horse, so 2,400 suits it perfectly. It's also young, won't carry a lot of weight. Looks like it's coming, so that's a good chance to me. And the other one, Phil already touched on West Wind Blows. That's got very good form, so I reckon that's another big chance as well. Fauxy?
Without a Fight, needs a good track. Soft 5, soft 6 max. Soft 6 even scares me, but we'll see. Definitely a horse that we've been following for a while, so should eat up the 2,400. I reckon that's probably its peak though. Do you disagree?
I agree.
Like nuts, yeah.
Nuts. They even Sam Freeman even said he might even take it to the Cox Plate possibly if it doesn't go to the Caulfield Cup. So I think it won't happen either because it's Cox Plate. So $11 you get without a fight at the moment. So definitely backing him to this day.
So far we've tipped 3 favourites.
It's pretty
We're
shocking.
good. We're good punters.
It's pretty shocking. It's pretty shocking. But I will touch on it again. Huha Mull, 17 to 1. You can get in the Caulfield Cup. I know I've said in the Cox Plate, but
It gets a different name every time he says it.
No.
doesn't matter. Yeah. But yeah, definitely a chance in that sense as it's came back very
Alright,
good.
what's
So
next?
The big race, Melbourne Cup, right?
Let's not spend 10 minutes on this as well.
Let's get a bit quicker.
I might
I'm
as well
gonna go straight. Oh, you wanna go start?
I might as
You
well.
go
I've
start.
already mentioned Varbun, which I think we're all going to have the same opinion on this. I know I've already backed it. I don't know if you boys have.
I've backed it.
At 11, it's now 8s. It's equal favourite with Salcombe, which was a good eye-catching run first up last week. The other one I do like is Mr. Waterville, which used to be trained in the UK
O'Brien.
by the name of Waterville. It won well over there before it came over 3,200, I think on a wet track as well.
He came over there, John.
No, it won well over there before it came.
Oh. I don't like it that
over,
much.
over 3,200, same distance as the Melbourne Cup. Again, another young horse hasn't won a lot, so it'll be lowering at the weights. Now trained here by Chris Waller. Ran well first up over 16, looks like an out and out stayer. I think it's about 26 to 1, so don't mind that, but I think this favour for Varbun, or Varbun, wherever you say. That could be at $8 still. That's I'd not be getting on.
I couldn't agree more. I think Varbun's almost another moral. It's 8 to 1. It actually scares me to say because I backed this horse. I really like this horse, Varbun. It's 8 to 1 now. It beat Absurd, who won the E-Ball, which is usually a decent form line race for the Melbourne Cup, by 7.5 lengths to start before. And it dropped down in distance, won easy again. Varbun looks very, very good. It's also got form around the best jumpers in the world. Constitution Hill and State Man and the rest. And looks very, very good. I will say of the local hopes, I do like Luna Flare. I think at 14 to 1. I do think I would want a bit more of a price, and I think it will be a similar price on the day. But I do think that's a very good horse. It's going to be a low weight. Yeah, so Luna Flare, I think of the local hopes, definitely the best one. And Duke to Cester, 61 to 1 in this race too. I'm gonna tip it in every race possible because I think this horse is proper. I like its form in England, and they just think it's very smart. So that's
race possible.
legit. So 61 to 1 Duke to Cester, Luna Flare, Varbun. Go.
Do you think Varbun will get out in price? It's an interesting one, considering it's not running again.
I think it might stay, maybe go up a little bit because it's not having another run. So I hope it doesn't get out.
As locals run better, for example, Salcombe, perfect example, into $8.
Luna Flare runs a crack.
I think it has to get out, which is another thing. Maybe hold off then at $8 potentially. I don't think you get much shorter.
I think price wise, Varbun's probably where it's going to sort of be.
Yeah.
Same as Luna Flare. But yeah, go fast. What do you reckon? Make it quick.
Yeah, Varbun. I can't really go past it. Ryan Moore's jumping on it, it seems, so
Good
can
point.
always call it a.
That's
I'm not gonna say it, but
What, moral?
No, we can't keep saying that.
No, we can't.
Alright, I'm going to touch on 2 other horses. Locals here. Gold. Look, I do like Goldman.
Wrong.
I'm not saying it's going to win, but probably I would take about $15 to $20, and it's $11 at the moment. Gabe Waterhouse, I think personally you probably have it flying this prep.
She is going well. Gabe Waterhouse, all her horses, and what's his name?
It's
a joke.
But yeah, look, this horse has beat Salcombe by 3 lengths over 2,600 metres last prep. And that's the favourite now for the Melbourne Cup actually, so Varbun's actually not for $9.
So it's drifted out a bit.
Drifted out.
There you go, already
So you got $9.
$9.
And
There you go.
another one you got to touch on, local here, I reckon was a massive chance last year, was Luna Flare. You got 15 to 1 at the moment.
I reckon Luna Flare would have won last year.
Look, you'll carry 51, 52 kilos. And yeah, look, at the end of the day, they beat White Marlin by 5.5 lengths over 2,800. So that was apparently the favourite for the Melbourne Cup at one point. So
Yeah,
that's out with injuries. That's technically
That's typical early markets. Like Jewis was the favourite last year, what a joke.
But yeah, look, I think those.
Is that it?
Yeah.
One thing to touch on actually, because no one's mentioned the horse, which I thought someone would. Francesca Guardi.
It's not going. I think it's well, it's
Well,
might
no,
go,
it is,
but I
it's
think it's
going,
going
but
touch plate and everything.
It's apparently niggling feet issues. He's got synthetic hoof filler on this week.
It's
Ah,
got
sucks.
So,
Synthetic
how-
rubber,
so there you go.
bin,
So that's an
bin,
interesting one for the prep.
bin that.
Yeah.
All right.
Could easily take him off before the race, but
Golden Eagle, 1500 metres, Rose Hill, huge opinion race. I don't have much of a firm opinion here. I think there's two horses in the market. Amelia's Jewel, Giga Kick. That's all we got to focus on. It's just who's the better horse. At the moment, I think Giga Kick is a bit in front of it. If it's a wet track, I don't like Amelia's Jewel at all. But I do think that Amelia's Jewel is going to jump out of the ground this prep and going to go very close to a horse like Giga Kick. 1500 metres, maybe. Oh, look, they both will eat it up. It's hard. They're both very short. They're both the two favourites. Again, we're choosing a favourite, but I can't separate them.
I'm totally against both of them actually now, doing more form. But Giga Kick, after 1500's got to be some sort of a question mark. I think I've got Giga Kick's mile. As you know, I've got Giga Kick's miles better than Amelia's Jewel. I don't think Amelia's Jewel's that good yet, but could prove me wrong.
Just wait.
And I think 15's probably still short of its best, which is another thing. I think I think it's going to be a 2000 metre horse. I've got two tips in this. I've got Legato, which is a New Zealand horse.
Running this weekend.
Runs this weekend in New Zealand, which we'll touch on that as well. I've always followed it. Should be undefeated. One time it lost was to ProRS. Got severely held up. I came here and absolutely smashed the Aussie cattle. Young horse. Think it's been primed for that. For obviously 4-year-old. So I rate that. See how it goes this weekend. The other one that's now being prepped as more of a miler is Kovalika. And I think when Waller trains horses and keeps the speed in their legs, I think this thing could be another potential superstar. I think it's an absolute beast.
You know what's funny about that? I didn't tip it for anything, but I think that horse is
It's got to be something.
I think it's the next best thing.
Yeah,
I couldn't pick what I wanted it for.
And then I got one more quick one. A horse by the name of Knight's Choice, which I did.
Oh, I forgot to tip it.
Which after it won its second race in the class one, I said the field was giving me Wings vibes, and then it happened to go and win the Wings Stakes, which is exactly when Wings started.
And it won like Wings.
And it won like Wings. And I was sitting on my couch after my surgery. It was 20-1. Had a good bet on it, and now there's just articles about it everywhere. So I could be talking out of my pocket, but
No. In all fairness, I had it down for the Toorak, and today it got announced it's gone and it's gone to an Eagle.
When's it racing again?
I don't know yet.
Yeah, because I haven't seen
Mate,
it.
it reminds me. It won the Wing Stakes. Back then.
That
one,
exactly.
Stakes,
Marco, that thing's gonna win some big
Yeah,
races.
it's a good one.
100%.
It's a good
Go.
Look, I've always wanted Amelia's Jewel to win the Golden Eagle. To be honest with you, but we just have to see how it comes back. I wouldn't have a bet here at all. It's too hard.
Alright,
Cool,
we'll move on.
But
3-year-olds.
wait, hold on. But Kovalika, Luke's right. I reckon Waller wants it over that distance.
And
but then again, I look at the form and it's just like it just beat perfect.
Yeah,
form.
but
Perfect
another
form.
thing. Actually, that's a funny thing you said. I read something recently that apparently they nearly it was going that bad that prep, that apparently they nearly scrapped it, and it still went and won over 25.
It backed up, went to the Doomben Cup, which
Apparently
was the
heaps
best
of
day of my
problems,
life. Went to the Doomben Cup, and then it backed up the next week. Like I had the problem, went to Doomben Cup,
Well, I
backed
reckon
up,
that
won over
it
24.
was cooked and it still ran that
Still
well. It's a machine.
Kovalika is ridiculous. It's a very
Right.
good horse. Next
Alright,
race,
3-year-olds.
3-year-olds, Golden Rose, 1400 metres over Rose Hill. Cylinder, now that's the lay of the spring, right? That is the lay of the spring. 1400 metres in the bin, sucks, right? Militarised, I think it wants further. So they're the shorter horses in the market. So really, I don't really love anything for the Golden Rose. Originally, I liked the horse in Celestial Legend, but I can't see it anywhere. I don't know where it's going, but I think it's a freak. So if I had to...
It's going to Spring Champs.
It is? Well, then that's probably a bet there. If I had to back two things at odds in this race, just for the sake of it, I'm not going to go into them too far, but I like a horse called Salt Coats at 26-1.
Yeah, not, mate.
It's a Chris Waller horse. It hit the line unbelievably. Waller's got a huge opinion on it. You should go watch its replay from last week. Very good over, I think it was over 1200.
Yeah,
And then I have another horse that's 50-1 in Butch Cassidy. Right? I think it's a very, very good horse. It just needs a firm deck. It had a bit of an interrupted prep last prep. It was on soft tracks, etc. It's racing this week, and I like it this week, but I'll talk about that later. But they're my two roughies. Go and go quick.
I've got nothing for that.
Yeah?
I'm the same as you without Cylinder. I reckon unless it comes out this week and runs well, I reckon it's well over.
That is the lay of the spring.
Nah, look,
And over 14-2, I'm not sure.
1200 metres, I reckon it's go to. They if it wins this weekend, they potentially want to put it in the Everest. So
Yeah, I know.
that's what I've read.
It's
I've seen that
and
in
listened
the
to. So
It's really taking
Easy will go 100%.
Look, I think you got your Shinzu, obviously quality horse, Libertad, and a Bonetian's horse as well. You know, who else have we got? Charmstone. There's too many to really look at, so
Too much?
I can't bet.
Yeah,
That's fine.
It's just-
Flight Stakes, Legacy 6-1, Moral. You.
Totally disagree. Don't rate the horse.
I like the horse a lot.
And I have no opinion in that really.
legacies.
6-1, Moral. The way it won and done this weekend was
And
only
in all-
way came
and in all
second.
fairness,
Unreal.
Out of all the races, right? You got the 1,000 Guineas, maybe you might go there.
That's too far out.
Too far
Can
out.
it meet V8
Cool.
in the flight? Is that going?
No,
No.
V8's not a cheap.
Oh,
No,
so
no.
wait, so that's
Call
only
for
girls,
Guineas.
aren't
Call
they?
for Guineas.
Underdone, and
So
their
the
race
no.
is rated through the roof. It was too short. Legacy's wins.
Call for Guineas won't go. So legacy. Even Peter Moody said it.
right.
That's its race
It's all right.
to go.
It's
So
all good. We
Yeah,
know.
moving
We know.
on.
Call for Guineas, way too hard for me.
I've got.
Go. Oh no, so wait, so I actually have bets.
you
So,
got one. Surely you got
no,
one.
no, I know.
Look at the one that I want.
No, I've actually got three
I've got
horses that I
another
like.
moral on this.
Here we
Wow.
go.
I've got three horses I like, and I just can't pick between them, so I find it too hard. King Colorado King Colorado 6-1. That thing's flying. The way it ran first up was unreal, and it's going back against its own age. V8 first up was unbelievable.
another one.
6-1.
Yeah.
Underdone. It actually paraded terribly. That's a chance. And I like something called She Light. It was 11-1, flashing run, and it reminds me exactly of Soul Patch, which was ran third in the race 2 years ago against Alligator Battle 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So they're my three. If I had to 10-1, I'd probably go towards. Actually, no, I can't separate them. And I know I've tipped three horses, 6, and 11, but I can't separate them.
Well, I'm saying the second one I've got here is She Light.
Yeah.
Same as you. That's last two runs.
Insane.
It's been smashing on. It's definitely looking for a mile. Over like the other horses coming out of that race, like Little Bros and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's still. I think it's still rougher.
Oh man.
And it's clearly had better runs, so it looks like it's probably more of a miler. But
Yeah.
my main bet for me is another potential superstar. It's the Party, which runs this weekend too.
Yeah, that was.
I reckon that's
The moral this weekend.
I reckon.
I'd definitely.
Anyway, don't worry about
okay.
that.
Moral.
For the Guineas, I
Not
think
this weekend.
it's at least a miler, and I think it's
I
very,
agree.
very hard
It's
to
very
bet.
similar
That's
style.
the one I got. I got Sapati, pretty much what Luke just said, and I got Militarized as well because I've been following that. Phil's been following it, but he hasn't said it. So,
I'm just iffy about the
Look,
whole heavy track thing.
yeah. Look, I get that.
So yeah,
as
if it
well.
runs well this weekend, then
And it's a chance, but it
Yeah,
just has to
look.
come back. But I think it's a freak. But
I've got-
Fireburn scarred me because I thought Fireburn was a
yeah, that
genius,
boy,
but
that
it
boy
scarred me.
Still,
Yeah.
still, in my opinion, you can't be good. I'm not having a bet.
I mean, any other what's the other three races?
All right, so we're gonna go Spring Champs Derby. We'll go them real quick. For me, again, King Colorado. I think at 5-1 for the Spring Champs is a huge chance. I think it's 2,000 meters is its go the way it runs. But I tipped this at 50-1 before to these two boys.
Oh yeah.
In its trials, it had run 2 trials. I said, boys, this is the next Chris Waller horse. It gives me Kovalika vibes. This thing and Manzois vibes.
Same colour, isn't it?
It's actually by our Manzor, which is the same horse as Manzois. It's called Parazana, right? It's 15-1 now. It used to be 50-1 in the Spring Champs,
Used to be.
and it's 26-1 in the Derby. Honestly, like dead set. This horse in the Derby and in the Spring Champs, it's one of my best values of the spring. I reckon get on because it's seriously good in the form around. It's all been frank.
That's good. I've got nothing in that. I just think now they're too early and there's a million horses.
I've got a couple. So I've got an Oaks horse. Been following it past 2 races. Races this weekend. Autumn Angel, Peter Moody, 51-1 in the market, down to $9.
Okay.
So I've been following that for a while. I think that's a good one.
Yeah. that looks right, actually.
So yeah, got the Oaks Autumn Angel and Spring
Yes.
Champion Stakes. I got Tom Kitten.
Yeah,
Very good
yeah,
run last
that
time.
was very good.
That's the obvious.
But James Cummings doesn't know if he wants to bring it there. So that's no.
no,
bet.
he's
he's
bringing
bringing-
100%.
He's confirmed. It's his grand final.
You sure?
Yeah.
He
It's
said
a
I
phone.
listened to a podcast today.
Yeah, same. I listened to
So-
it today as well.
Yeah. So Tom Kitten, Spring
Looks
Champion
good.
Stakes,
Looks good.
Oaks, Autumn Angel. I very like Autumn Angel.
Shows how much studying Faust does. It does heaps.
I listened to James Cummings today as well.
You must have been on your phone or something at the same time.
Maybe it was the one last week.
He literally said today it's my spring chance.
It's Spring Chance horse.
No, but he said, but he
You know
did
what's
say
all
that.
right? Faust.
He did say that, but he didn't know which race he wanted to go to before. I think.
What's it got to do with
What's that got to do? Anyway,
Fine,
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Honestly, don't worry about it. Anyway, so
What's
next we got the Coolmore. And by the way, for the Oaks, I like 2 horses. I'm just going to quickly mention them. Molly Nickers 17-1. It's also Peter Moody horse.
That runs this weekend as well.
It runs this weekend. It looks like a bit of a stayer. And I like a horse at 50-1 called Hasty Honey. It's by Brad Witter.
I know that.
Just watch it later on in the prep. It's targeting it. Anyway, sorry to go through it too quick. We'll go in the Coolmore real quick. It's the hardest race of the spring in my opinion. I can never pick this race, but I've got 3 horses.
You're gonna have the same horse.
King's Gambit 6 to 1. It's absolutely trialling like a freak. It's a proper 3-year-old. Me and Luke used to think this horse is unbelievable. I still think it will be better 3-year-old. And I also like a horse at 15 to 1. If it goes, I don't think it's actually going to go. Outback Miss. I think that it's a very, very good horse. It just hasn't versed the A grade yet. So, but the form around it's been really, really good, and it's smashed its opposition twice. And at a huge odds, this thing has been trialling unreal, has really, really good form. Came second to Exploring in a really, really unlucky run, flashed home. Archo Nacho, it's 50 to 1. It's a good horse and it's huge odds, and I think it's worth a 50 center. Go, Luke.
I'm the same as King's Gambit. Ever since that first win, I thought it was a freak.
Yeah, same.
It's got a massive engine, does a lot wrong. So if it sorts that out, then I think it'll be a top class sprinter. But it has to do it. Always trials like an absolute beast, and then it overdoes it on race day and struggles to finish off. So that's me.
Charm Stone 11 to 1.
Mug.
That's it.
No, not a mug. That's a great.
No, you know what?
That's a great. Hold on a sec. They're going 4th up into that, right?
It's overrated, that horse. He's pretty massive boomer.
They ran a very fast time on.
No,
that
it was.
last
Had
100
the
meters.
perfect
But it had
track.
the perfect
I don't
If
care.
you switch around,
I know, I get that, but it's got a lot.
I
of
reckon it
potential to
loses
go
this
forward.
weekend anyway.
I reckon it's a good bet this weekend,
I don't know.
hands down. But
I don't know about that.
11 to 1, Coolmore, I'll take it each way for sure.
That's the cool one.
Mick Price know what they're doing.
So, Charmstone, put in the bin for the Coolmore. Alright, next. Mile races. Alright. So, mile races, we're just going to talk about them in a big bunch. So, I'll go through a few real quick. King Charles, weight for age, 1600. Mr. Brightside wins.
Yeah.
I don't care what you reckon. This thing wins. Mr. Brightside, this prep is at a mile, our best weight for age. I think it's maybe our best weight for age horses in Australia this prep. It has come back unbelievable. It just gets better and better every year. That race is just made for it. It's going to pick up a bit of money. And I don't think it quite gets 2,000 metres for the Cox Plate. So that's my opinion. Makybe Diva, right? There is a forgotten horse in the market. It actually blows me away. Mr. Brightside's $2.80. Fangirl is $8, right? $8. It's got the same sort of formula. If you mix up Princess Grace, both of them just pipped them.
It's not 100% going, but
I know the Osipenko's its main horse, but look, if Fangirl $8, it's not an all-in market. It's pre-noms. Have a go now, because that on the day, if that goes to the race, it will not be those odds. So I think that's a good little pickup. It's got the Princess Grace Animo form makes sense, right? Yeah. I think the Epsom. I've got 2 horses at decent odds. I don't like these races like Epsom and stuff, especially this far out. I like a horse called Nugget at 26 to 1. It won't carry too much weight, and it's got form right around Mr. Brightside. I can do all ground conditions. We'll see how it comes back this week.
Yeah, one this week as well, doesn't it?
So we'll just see how it comes back. I think it's a good little hope at a mile. That's the best distance, and I've got a huge one. Greg Urell, who's a trainer that Fowkes' family is quite aligned to, and he's got a horse by the name of Our Red Morning. Yeah. I think this horse is very, very, very good, and it's been nommed for this. It's the lowest rated horse in so it's got to make the field, but if it gets in, it will carry no weight. It's 100 to 1.
It's got to win.
It won't make the field.
It's 100 to 1.
It won't even go there, but
it's 100 to 1. It's a pre-noms market. Have a nibble on it.
It's a good horse,
all the
though.
best.
I do.
And sorry, Toorak, I had Knight's Choice, got scratched. So I like
got scratched. 2 months
got scratched. So I like a horse called Detonator Jack at 17 to 1. I think it's going to carry no weight. But I do think there's a really good horse at the top of the market called Amenable at 450. It's come back real good this prep. And it run well against Mr. Brightside.
I spoke to Fowkes the other week. Do you reckon that we make the field at the minute? Because it hasn't won anything. So its rating's still low.
It actually got bumped up in the rating heaps after that, and Mick Price was held. It will make the field, and it'll go very close.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think Detonator Jack and Amenable, you put there.
Doing that?
It might go that or the King Charles, which I reckon they should go to that.
They shouldn't go to King Charles.
Anyway, that
can't beat Mr. Brightside.
But Amelia's Jewels won Group 1s and stuff, so it won't be rated too low.
Yeah, it won't be too low, but it won't be too high.
Anyway, last one of the mile races, Empire Rose, right? Fangirl at $5 seems pretty good if they go there, and I think there's
probably a good race to target.
It's a weight for age, fillies and mares race. good horse. $5 is a pretty good price for a race like that.
You won't
If it-
bump
it'll
into
get-
anyone good.
that's what I'm saying.
Maybe like Princess Grace.
It'll get in good at the weights. I have a query of Princess Grace over the mile. I think it might be I know its form over there is alright over a mile, but I think it's a
I
1400 metres horse.
I reckon it might be.
But Empire Rose is a horse, 1400 metres, 1600 metres I like, by the name of Magic Time. It's 21-1. It will carry no weight. And I think it's a smart horse by Graham Beck.
Yeah, great.
That was actually really good last weekend. It was like
It was
4 wide off the
It
track.
was pretty good.
So, yeah, go.
I started with Makybe because it's next Saturday, which we'll obviously touch on then. But I'm with Alligator Blood to roll Mr. Brightside. Second up, unreal record. Assuming it's not too wet, which hopefully Melbourne seems to be right at the moment. It likes tracks with long straights, so dominated over Sandown, beat them all, beat Brightside, beat Thunderstruck before it died, beat them all over that distance. Nearly nosed out Animo as well.
True.
I just think that horse over a mile is, I've always said it's our best miler, and when it can find the front and find the rails and lead, and it's a good track, I think it's nearly unbeatable. Especially over the bigger tracks, so your Flemington's.
As long as it doesn't get challenged. If that horse
That's
gets
what I'm saying.
challenged,
So it depends on the field. See, like, the reason it got taken on by Anavisto last week, and probably brought it undone, was still very good, lost by
by the way, how much does Anavisto suck these days?
Yeah, well, it's retired now,
Yeah,
so.
true.
So that's my tip to beat Brightside, which could easily go unbeaten for the prep. Epsom, I wanted to touch on too quickly. Madame Pommery, which I'm already on at 26-1.
That's a good bet.
Which doesn't make sense because it's lost the nostril of Pericles, which again won.
No,
and
races this week.
is a $5 favourite in the race and was a better run in his 26s versus $5. To me, that doesn't make sense. To have something each way on Madame Pommery and the Epsom. And then the other one I want to touch on is Hope in Your Heart, which should have won the Doncaster. Again, it hasn't won anything big, so I'll get him very lightweight. And it's just the most honest horse, and I think it's around 30s at the minute still. So I'd have something each way on that. Going to the Toorak, you touched on one, Detonator Jack down at the weights. I reckon
Huge chance.
I feel like it might be a 1400 metre horse, but down at the weights.
Still good at a mile.
Still will be fine at a mile. The other horse I've got a massive opinion on, which I'll also be tipping this week, is Attrition. Love that horse. I think it's a proper Group 1 quality mare. Yeah. I don't think is it a mare? I actually don't know.
It's a horse.
I don't even know.
You'll
If
have
it's a
a
horse.
name.
Bay horse.
And that again, we're getting with no weight because it hasn't won any big races. And the other last one,
Wait, what did you say?
Bay horse.
It's a bay horse.
That's what it says on Sportsbet.
It's just a.
That's the colour,
It's just
bro.
the colour.
Yeah, I know. What? I was just taking a piss.
You're having a mare, bro.
No, I'm not.
Anyway,
It says Bay horse.
And to finish that, pounding each way as well. I think that's due a Group 1 handicap was suited with no weight because it hasn't won a lot. So that's where I'm at. Yeah, done.
What bay horse are you tipping?
I wish so.
That, by the way, how's your drink fast? Is it alright?
Yeah, it's alright.
What do you drink?
Quick plug.
No,
Please sponsor.
I can't really bother going through the mile races, but Toorak definitely like a couple. So Menable $4.50. Definitely just came back well. Probably a bit too short in my
Yeah,
opinion.
way too short.
But you know, if it gets to about $6-7 each way, definitely take it. And Pounding as well. I reckon it's got a
good mile.
It's got a Group 1. I reckon.
Yeah.
Came second in the Australian Cup.
No, it's got a Group 1.
And it's a mile.
Yeah, win.
You just want something down at the weight.
Yeah.
So
It'll carry 50 and a half. So.
That's it.
All right, let's go to our gravy, our butter and bread, Perth races, right? It is very far out for Perth races, and I think we all understand that. But I just wanted to get a few things out that we might get some nice odds for. There's a very, very distinct pattern in Perth races every single year. That for every single Group 1, the same profile horse wins, right? This year, look, you got Alsafina, Bustler, Velvet Queen, all at the top of the market that look really good. And out of them, I like Alsafina. Alsafina, it beat all of... I just think Alsafina is extremely, extremely smart. I think it's a good horse. And Granolana Williams are flying at the moment.
Profile
They're obviously juicing them up, but they're flying. But in terms of the profile and everything, like there's a horse that reads exactly like the last 3 winners, just like Tricks of the Trade. Was very good in those 3-year-old races early on this year. Got to a longer distance and just struggled. Admiration Express. This horse is 15-1. It profiles exactly like a railway stakes winner. It won't carry much weight at all. I think 15-1's a great price each way. You might even get more on the day, like I don't know, but I just think personally, profile wise, this thing just reads. It's a tricks of the trade 2.0. Yeah, so I really like that. Winter bottom wise, I don't have much opinion at the moment.
I have no idea who's gone.
I think one horse you got to just think about is Clemenceau. It's now here with the Ganjimis. 21-1, maybe have a nip, but I don't think it's good enough. I'd be waiting for which Godolphin horses come here. I'd look at something like Kalos or Zapateo. I think that's a good profile for a race like this. And then Northerly, Super Smink is the biggest moral I've ever... today, we've said, I told you we'd say moral that many times. This is the biggest one. Super Smink is the Northerly winner. Last year, I said to a few people, Amelia's Jewel is the Northerly winner. Super Smink is the Northerly winner. It profiles perfectly, will carry no weight. The horse is better than... it wins. It just wins. All right? Just note it down, put your life on it, it wins. Just gamble responsibly. Keep running. Go.
So we touched on the Northerly the other day. We both said we had the same horse. I've got Super Smink.
Yeah,
as well.
there you go. There you go.
Just profiles perfectly. I'm 100% sure we'll go through the Guineas 2 weeks before. We'll get him. It's also a mare, so we'll get him with 50.5. It's exactly like Amelia's Jewel. I mean, like, it's probably not as good, but it's just a perfect recipe, and they got a good strike rate, so that's what I'm on. For the row, I'm with the Velvet Queen at the minute, but there's a lot to change. It's finished right behind Elsafina. They're both in the
It's a
market.
fair point. Velvet Queen's a good horse. 10-1, get a bit more odds.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Velvet Queen and Super Smink.
Yeah,
there you go.
Very good.
Pass it on. Can't really say much.
And now this part, we don't have any particular races. We're gonna go through a few different races that we just think are good bets for the spring. So for myself, the Invitation, Princess Grace. It's 8-1. I think it's a moral. Champs Day.
Again.
In secret.
Fucking hell.
This is the best. You've all gone by this time anyway. So I'm just gonna say morals. We had 6 at the start. We probably got 1. Hey Ren, how are you?
2 hours first potty.
Yeah.
It could be longer this one.
Like I said, the rest can be shorter. Champs Day, in secret, 8-1. My best bet of the spring. I think this thing, a lot of horses are going to die down. They go to the Everest and stuff like that. 1,200 metres along the Flemington Straight. This is the best straight horse in our country at the moment. It's going to go there, 8-1. It's honestly a moral. That's my best bet of the spring. Metro, super hard race.
We've got
3 little. What?
We've got to look bad.
3 little tips.
So early.
Three little tips. I'll go the rougher one first. Oh no, sorry. Duke de Sessa 26-1. I've tipped it 8 times, but this thing, I'm telling you, it's going to win a big race this prep. Colourpool. I tipped it to these boys at 50-1 a week ago? 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago? It's 15-1 now. I think it's got a huge chance. Profile's perfect for a Metrop. And the last one I've got for the Metrop, Alabia. This horse is absolutely flying. It's 26-1 for the Metrop. It's another one of those horses, very low on the weights for the race. Huge chance. Runs this weekend. I think it's a huge chance. Paracel, back it in anything mare's grade. It's going to be the Zapateo 2.0.
Under 1,200.
1,200, it maybe just sees it out. Anything mare's grade, honestly, it's Zapateo 2.0 from last year. And then I think a horse that I haven't mentioned, because I haven't found the right race for it, but I will. There's 2 races. The Group 2 the Group 2 Hill Stakes and the Group 3 Kingston Town Stakes. The 2,000 metre races in Sydney. I think one's at Ramley, one's at Rose Hill. Just fine. It's a horse. 2,000 metres is its distance. 2,400, it's a no-go. I bet this guy's going to back it for the Caulfield Cup, or no, not the Caulfield Cup, the Metro.
Not backing it for any.
2,000 metres is its go. You can't do any more. But the way it won last was a bit freakish. So just fine. Those 2 races. Go Lucas.
I've got nothing outside of the main ones.
Alright, I've got a couple. Got one for the Metro that I actually really like. Major Bill, Gabe Waterhouse, targeting it, grand final. 2,400 metres, beat Sharp and Smart before. That's a very good form in my opinion. It wasn't heavy.
It was a heavy.
But in saying that, I reckon this horse just came back very good.
You said it wasn't?
No, it wasn't heavy. It wasn't heavy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying,
But yeah, I think 2,400 is definitely the sweet spot for it. You get in about 11-1. I've had 20-1 and I think 25-1 on my futures. And I've also got another one.
That's a good bet.
I reckon it's a good bet, honestly. It ran second
It's
on the weekend.
Yeah,
in the
fair point.
Yeah. Champion Stakes. This is one I actually really like, right?
Champion Stakes.
Yeah.
2,000 metres.
Here we go.
Right, so last year, everyone, in my opinion, wasn't like, it was at the end of obviously the spring, right? You got your Animos and stuff like that, Moonga, that's done well. But he's a shocker.
Winger's finished.
What?
He's a shocker.
No, you're right.
51 to 1.
No, that's
It
actually a
beat-
good tip.
It beat. This is one of my big
second,
ones.
didn't
Yeah, it came second.
It beat
You're actually
Animo.
right.
It just ran second
know what, though?
in the
One
Champions
horse-
Stakes.
One horse I blacked
And it
out this
beat
weekend was he's a
Thunderstruck.
shocker.
And it exactly
Thunderstruck
came
died,
back
right?
good. Came back good.
You know
Why?
why that's a good idea?
Mate,
Because
Price,
a lot
I'm
of
telling
them,
you.
yeah, you're actually right.
I'm telling you, Price, right? He's iffy about this horse. He even goes, I heard
He's
in
a
the
2,000
podcast.
litre horse.
He doesn't really care what it does, but at the end, he's gonna definitely put it in something, and he goes to Champion Stakes.
Yeah,
So
it's easy.
I reckon it'll be
the horses.
4th or 5th up, 2,000 to
That's actually
2,400.
Fag's done it right.
That's a
2,000 to 2,400 is its sweet spot.
You're
And
right.
I reckon.
2,000 spot on. 100%.
I reckon.
Look at it last year.
I guarantee you on the day, if no one goes to it, right?
It'll be 15s or something.
15s, 10s, you might get 10.
Yeah.
Get on
Actually,
now,
good.
not good,
Did
not a
you-
bad price.
Fag's got so excited because he started screaming. I don't know.
Yeah,
who
right.
he's
We
texting.
lost everyone.
I would have heard him
We
when I was
lost,
in
we lost
Brisbane,
everyone.
Took out-
I hope everyone
took out
heard that. I hope everyone heard that one. That was good.
Took our advice.
I'm sure they
That's
heard
it,
it.
that's
I didn't
it,
hear
that's
it.
it,
I thought it
that's
was
it.
Gary screaming. Anyway, so now quickly, we've got 4 minutes to the hour, so we might as well
We've
see
got
it.
an hour and 5 minutes.
We'll see out the hour, and I reckon we'll see out the hour, right? This weekend, really quickly, right?
Tips?
Quickly.
Yeah.
Right.
Features. Run to the Rose, Feehan,
Okay, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I don't really love anything in any of them, right? I think Libertad's a very good horse, $4.60, right? I think the way it won first up, really underdone, was very good. I think that's a massive chance. Like I tipped before, Butch Cassidy, 13-1. I think that's a huge chance of real good first up. And Don Corleone scares me too. So at 8-1. So like realistically, if I was in that race, I'm not betting. Maybe a nibble on Butch Cassidy each way. Feehan, pinstriped, 850, 270 a place. I think it was huge last start, just behind Mr. Brightside. Second up, a mile. It's going to be fit from the autumn prep it had. It was still running late into the autumn.
Ran into winter.
That's right. Exactly, into the winter. Yeah, run those races in the winter.
Yeah.
And like I said, Globe could be the next incentivised. $3.40 could be value, but we don't know. It's a terrible barrier, etc.
I like Globe, but I don't reckon it wins on the weekend.
Yeah, probably.
But then again, it could come out absolute brainer.
To be fair, if they think what it is,
It
has
should be.
It's not the best field.
The thing is, it would stay.
It is a good field.
It would look so bad if it loses. Like,
No, it won't
because
look bad.
it's talked
It
up
just
that
needs to, it
much.
just needs to run well. Has to run top.
I'm with attrition for this one. At the end of the day,
Wide
free
boy.
wide.
You know what Globe will be like if it loses? Like Fax's football career. So much talk, so much potential.
So it's still
Done.
good and young. Injured.
Done, yeah. But yeah, I'm with attrition, free wide, no, almost 4 wide with
Yeah, mate.
no
massive
cover,
run.
no
Massive
trip.
run.
Pinstripe had the better run. It just finishes next
Yeah,
to it.
yeah, you're right.
Pink,
Actually,
I can't see how you can tip pinstripe
I
over
agree
that.
100%.
Um,
I take pinstripe.
So, in
So
my,
who's the
my
second one you
opinion,
said?
attrition.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So attrition.
That's your bet.
Yeah, that's
it,
my one.
yeah.
Yeah. So I've got. Oh yeah, mate. Touch on the run to the roses. I know
Run to the
You
rose.
obviously like Cylinder. You love that horse.
Yeah, he loves Cylinder.
Cylinder.
Just,
It's gonna win.
For me, run to the rose. I think Cylinder can definitely.
It's
win
gonna
this
win.
weekend.
It's gonna win this week. It won't win the Golden Rose.
Could have win. Yeah, Golden Rose or not at $2. There's no chance I'd back it. Yeah.
Nah, you need about
That's a
3.
joke. I don't think it's that good. I think it's well overrated. Unless it proves you wrong this week. It's,
Nah,
it's actually done
good.
nothing
It's
so
good.
far.
It was fat. We all know it was fat the first
Yeah,
time.
but-
Wait, do you
It
think
was-
it's
was
good?
flat.
You think it's good?
I think it's good.
X.
I think it's good.
Big X.
Over 200 metres to do. Over 200
Anyway,
You like over
I'd rather
500?
back the other
X.
one. What's the Libertad or whatever it's called?
Yeah, I like the
And I like Butch Cassidy each way. And there's nothing wrong with the other one you mentioned.
Don Corleone.
Yeah, don't call
That's
don't call him trouble.
That's a shit betting race.
Not betting. I'm not betting, but I'm just
Attrition
saying.
each way 100% and Pounding, both the ones
Yeah.
I like for the 2
Yeah,
race.
attrition definitely needs one.
Pounding loves the valley, just it can't be too wet.
Really quickly, does the Giga Kick win? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Rough fire wins.
Yes. Alright. So if anyone backing Rothfire, bin it. So
I'm joking.
he's joking now. He's crap.
No, hold on. It's gonna be a good run. Everyone's going to go forward.
No,
doesn't matter.
Geeky's going to be a good one as well.
No,
but
you
Rothwire,
said it.
around Mooney
You
Valley,
said it,
around
bro.
Mooney Valley,
Hey,
it's
Fats.
good.
Yes or no question. Move on.
No, just keep punting.
It's alright.
So
I'm not
now,
backing
Keep punting.
now we're just going to quickly smack through a few tips for the weekend. We haven't focused too much on them. We're literally just going to blurb them out. All the best with your notepads this week, by the way. Just look at our Instagram page at Keep Punting Podcast if you want some info, even though right now we're speaking to no one.
Yeah.
Ren dropped off and we're on no one.
We got
So,
no one.
We'll still win, I think.
We got no one.
So the only person we've got is your one behind the camera. Alright, so let's go. I think the best value of this weekend is a horse by the name of Sunshine in Paris. I think 7-1 is the stupidest.
I think it's even bigger now. I think it's
$9.
Yeah, it's $9
I think it's the stupidest price. I think this horse, it's a big call. I think it's going to win this weekend because there's a lot of pace, IME, etc. Blah blah blah. It's going to sit just behind
I'm
him.
taking you on in that.
I reckon it's going to fly past them and it's going to book an Everest slot. That's what my opinion is. I think Sunshine Paris is a very good horse and they're aiming it for the Everest and then they're going to go to the Golden Eagle just like Gigi Kick.
Yeah.
So I think Sunshine Paris is a great bet this weekend. I think you can mouldy up Stapati and Gigi Kick this weekend. I know Stapati wants a mile, but I think it's that good of a horse. I think
Brave me.
It's a win at the track as
I
well.
don't know.
Brave me.
I know
I
Brave
like
Mead's right.
Stapati, but
I like Brave me.
I would do a multi
It's
if
a no
I
bet
was
for
you.
me.
I'd
It's
go
no bet.
Stapati to win, Gigi Kick to win, Sunshine in Paris to place. You would think I'd got the odds for that, but I didn't. So it would probably be around something like 15 or 1 each.
Put on the page.
Anyway, I think
I won't be nowhere near.
I've set my multi up.
If we get this out by tomorrow, there's a horse tomorrow that's a moral called Snapback. It's racing at
you know what
Melbourne
race
race 5.
it is?
What?
It's $1.15.
Don't worry
Don't
about
worry
it.
about it.
Okay, so Belmont, our bread and butter, 3 tips. Valency, race 5, number 2, $3.50.
1200 metres.
Cert- I reckon 1200 metres is fine. The way it's been running recently. As long as Jade McNaught doesn't have a stroke like she's been doing recently. Searching Rocks, race 7, number 4. They look so
Remember
good.
last time we raced?
Yeah. Remember how lucky it was first time?
Yeah, that's what I mean, but we had missed the start.
Searching Rocks, I think race 7, number 4. I reckon $4 is a good price for it. And at a bit of value, race 3, number 7, $11, $3.90 a place. Mahaleo. It's a 7-horse field, but that had a real good run last start. It just took off too early and just got pipped near the line.
Oh, that thing, Mahaleo.
Mahaleo.
I was going to say, Mahaleo.
It's a really good bet.
Yeah.
One at nice odds at Rose Hill is Pia Rossa, 21-1, $4.20 a place. It's getting over more ground, second up.
No,
It looks
really
good. Maybe needs one more, but I like how it's dropping down in weight. And then last 2, pretty short. Morfordville, I like. You can do a multi, a 2-leg multi.
I've got one.
Race 5, number 5, Run Like Hell, $2.45. It's been that unlucky recently.
Shocking ride last
It's
time.
a shocking ride.
It was
Should
the
have won.
order, I think.
Should have beat the Mando, who
Carl.
went out and ran 3rd in a decent race. I
Yeah,
think, the other day.
on Wednesday.
And then
Yesterday.
you multi that into Lord Luca, which
Yeah.
is race 9, number 8,
Really?
$4.20.
Yeah.
So by a bit of mathematics, you can get around $10 for that. But that's my bets for this weekend.
Cool. I'll quickly run through mine, which we'll probably post these anyway. So if anyone wants to,
Well, no one's going to be listening anyway,
No,
so we have to.
we have to.
well, we've got no choice. We've got we've got 1.5 viewers left now. Your one's one of them. So Belmont, I've only got the one. It's a black booker. Race 2, number 4, Collective. It's around the $4 mark. Extremely. It's been unlucky the past 2 starts. Dropped to 1200 last start. Absolutely savaged the line. Gets back up to 14. It's due a win soon. Also cost me a shit ton a couple of weeks ago, losing by a nose, but I'll stick with. Again, Ramwick, race 2, number.
Sorry.
Race 2, number 12, Miss Thatcher each way.
Oh, yes.
52.
No, and take the kiddies getting scratched.
Yeah, I know.
So, I honestly reckon
that's worse, but I'd rather be in it because this thing, the past 2 runs, has been a mile
it's
beat
been
time.
horrible.
I've already had a good hit on it.
It's been horrible. It's been horrible.
This will also be my multi, but this is my best bet at Ramwick. It's at race 5, number 5, Zapateo. Purposely scratched from last week against Nate Strip and Aguado, both retired, so
Flying.
It's been more. James Cummings said more suitable 1200 instead of the 1000 last week.
Sunshine
It's a first up freaking beast, and a bit of cut in the ground won't hurt. So I reckon that's a great. It's 350 and it's now 230 now. It's been smashed.
I like
then
it,
you,
guys.
then you go I've only got, outside of attrition and pounding we already touched on, I've got one more at Mooney Valley. Assuming it's fair, race 6, number 7, right to party each way. Absolutely flew home against the pattern last time. Bit of luck, I'll be up there. Morpheville, I got 2 tips. Race 4, number 9. My best rough of the day, Smiling Assassin. Listen. Smiling Assassin each way. Ran yesterday. Absolutely steamed home, ran second. Backs up on Saturday. It's done that about 5 times and won. $26 into $13, no scratching.
Get on.
So it's actually good each way. 13 and now 330 drum in from 26s with literally no scratchings. And then Lord Luca, the same one you touched on. Race 9, number 8. Then I'm going abroad for 2. So I'm going New Zealand, Hastings. Race 9, number 13. And the highest ledger, Kyprios. Best story of all time. Story for another time. Right, and this is my multi. There's quite a few. So multi of the day. Recommendation to win. Do you kick to win? Zapatea to win. You get about 850.
Right, so I thought I'd go pretty hard first.
So I maybe it doesn't matter.
Just pump them out.
So look, I've got to prove myself to everyone. So that's what I've done.
You got a lot to prove.
Got a lot to prove, yeah. Alright, so 23 to 1 multi. I like this one. Okay, so you got Charmstone to place, race 6 Mooney Valley. It's one of my best bets on the card, in my opinion. Berkeley Square, third up, definitely needs the 2,000 metres. In my opinion, if it doesn't do anything, that's it. X on it. It's probably
it's been good.
Go-to.
It's been good the first
it has been good, but it's just got.
I was going to put that in.
Go-to now. Yeah. Berkeley Square to place. Bullfinch, Chris Swallow has put it up to 1,600 metres. It was actually almost favourite in the Diva Mile, got scratched to go an easier race.
Who ran second to last week?
Irish Songs going to back that 20 to 1.
Anyway. Boy.
And then that's going to race 4 in Dubin. So to place, definitely should be locked. Should be locked. Touch the wood.
It won't win, but it's a non-winner.
Yeah, it probably played it. Anyways,
it's retarded.
Miss Stature, same as Gareth, black booked it. You're getting $8.50.
Because I told you.
And another one, Grace to the Styler. Don't know how many times. It's been 3 times now that this.
You're going to back it again?
Second. I'm not backing it.
Place.
Players.
Yeah.
Right?
This is a multi.
It should be running the place. Either win. It probably does win.
Wait, so is this all a multi?
This is a multi.
Jesus.
And in the last, Rose Hill, I reckon this is a good bet. Red card.
Yes.
First up.
Yes.
First up, doesn't win.
No, I actually think that might be the bet of the card.
First up doesn't win.
Wait,
Watch it.
First
4-0 first up.
Remember, I've just said a multi for
2
this.
seconds first up.
I've just said this is 6 legs. All right.
What's the Delacour first up?
23 to 1.
No, but it's flying.
This is 23 to 1. Okay, I would have something okay on it. And then my 4 tips. All right. So Autumn Angel, first race at Mooney Valley. You're getting $2.70. I reckon it probably jumps at $2.
Aren't you?
Huh?
You're
I like
keen
it.
on that.
Yep.
There's a toppy that can easily beat it, so the exact same.
I like it, but I like it.
I pull it.
Charmstone race 6, $3.40. I've probably marked it.
Yeah.
I probably marked it at about $2.30. I reckon it wins.
Wait,
you marked what?
I'm marking it.
Give me a
Fax
Cylinder. Listen, Cylinder's should win on the weekend, but it won't win after that.
But what did you mark
That's
it? Is it a bay horse?
And this is another one that I like.
Is that a factor?
No,
you use that bay horses?
No.
Fax, I marked it too. You're a professional already.
No wonder Fax loves the little bay.
Listen, alright. Argentia. Have we not talked about that?
Yeah,
that's a great bet.
Hold on a
Might
second.
be wet, but might be wet.
Yeah, that's the only
It might probably be a soft 5, maybe a soft 6 max.
I think the biggest thing they get out of all of these is wait to watch the first year at Mooney Valley to see how the tracks play.
That's
true. Horrible.
Autumn Angel might be a mud bet, but I don't mind it. Alright, so Argentia each way, you got 12 to 1. 12 to 1, it's open. That's $6 now.
Yeah, but there was a big got scratched. But it's been it's $4.60 now. $4.60. Yeah, it's $4.60. I checked before.
I probably wouldn't take that prop, but that's one of my bets.
So definitely going to take the price on that.
I'll still take the price.
Fair to take $2.
And Matt Ponnery could probably win that race, but I'm not going to bet.
Yeah, my boy. Just not back to 13, but
just a very quick thing, just to add at the end. If on Sportsbet there's a fire sign next to a horse, Fauci's on it. That's his number one in.
Fauci just follows the money.
Okay, so guys, that's basically it for today. We've gone well over planned time.
Every episode's 30 minutes.
Every episode's going to be 30 minutes. This is a bit of a special pilot to make sure no one ever listens to us again.
We've got no one at the moment.
I don't know who I'm speaking to right now. It's Trophy, the horses. But yeah, look, Better Beer, please sponsor us. And look, look, even if you're down to your last, your underwear, like my nonna likes to say, your mordantes. If you can't pay for a drink on a night out, if you got to share an Uber with Faux even though he stinks because you got no money, just keep punting, all right? Do it responsibly.
Keep punting.
Yeah,
Thanks, guys. All the best.
Boys.